like put it on. But the only thing I was really going to go over was just inviting, and I wanted to show a couple resources that people have. I'm sure that you guys all know, all three of you, two of you, three of us. I'll just share my screen. Okay. Coach. So in your Coach online office, there's like this news and training thing, and it like we have like all our training on like our site and on in our little whatever you call it Facebook group. But in news and training, there's all these things here. So like if you are right now just barely getting started as a coach, you can come here and do your own training here. You can also, if you're like, as soon as you've gone like through this training, you can do the coach training. And then as soon as you're like wanting to hit Emerald or Ruby, you do this training. And if you're wanting to hit Diamond, you do this training, 2-star, so on and so forth. It's like all here for you. And so if you go to just the coach part, I plan on putting this on our website just so it's just all in one place in addition to here. But like if you're a coach, you want to do this, know this, learn how is where I'm clicking here. And they have like a bunch of this stuff here, and I recommend that everybody goes and watches this little video. It says customer 5-step invitation process. You can watch this video and you can read through this PDF. I don't know. I don't use this, so I don't really know much about it, but it's a 5-step process that they like give detailed explanations of how you can go about inviting people to your challenges. So if you find yourself getting stuck and what we're recommending to you like doesn't work, then come here, go through this training, do some research on your own, because sometimes what works for us doesn't always work for everyone else. And sometimes what I think works for me isn't working with another person, so I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's situational. So there's like these resources in addition to what we say and what we give you. Normally what I do is it's normally what I do when I invite people is I just try my best to start like any sort of conversation, even if it's like not super deep, like just asking them how they are, what they've been up to, like what they're doing for work, what their husbands are doing for work, like how school's going. Like I try to like ask a bunch of questions, and then when it feels like the conversation's kind of like dying out, or if they ask me about what I'm doing, I kind of will just like casually throw out an invitation to them and just say something along the lines of like, hey, I've actually been thinking about you lately, and I was thinking that you might actually really like this couples challenge that I'm running next month. And we're doing this and this and this, and it'd be cool if there's something that interests you, I'd love to give you more information. Or a lot of times what I do is I'll like go through my list and find people that have said that they're interested in the past that have told me that they weren't ready yet. Every single person that that have told me that they aren't ready or they don't want to do it quite yet, I'll usually always go back to those people at some point during the next inviting process or next inviting period of time, and just like give them another opportunity to say yes to my challenge. So even if they said no in the past, like hopefully you've kept like a good rapport with them and you didn't just like drop off the edge of the planet with them. But usually I'll just say, hey, just so you know, I'm running another challenge. I know last time wasn't great timing for you, but if it is this time, I'd love to have you. Here's a couple pieces of information about it. I
like to continue to talk to people in between, because I get a lot of my sales, I feel like, from people that have like said no in the past. And I just my like a hey girl for like once a week until the next inviting process.
Yeah. So all those,
like if I see a post like, hey, like I saw you doing this, just so they don't think that I'm just like trying to sell.
they don't want, I feel like it's good to make sure that the people don't think that every single time you're going to talk to them that you're going to bring up your challenges or the coaching opportunity or whatever. So yeah, totally. It's good if you can kind of keep just like, even if it's not super deep, but just kind of keep a somewhat conversation going. A lot of times I'll keep the people that I'm talking that I maybe think might join a challenge sometime soon. I'll keep them just like at the bottom of my screen so I can kind of remember them, you know, like how you can just like kind of minimize your chat with those people. I kind of just keep them there. And a lot of times I have like 12 of them or 13 or 15 or whatever open at the bottom. You can't see them all, but if you like click to the side, you can like see them all pop up and you can remember their names and just go click on them and say, hey, how did that thing go that you were telling me about? Or, you know, whatever. And so that way when the next inviting period comes around, it's not super weird. And yeah, I don't know. Like I do it differently than what Kelsey does. I usually keep a conversation going with those people, send an invitation out to those people, but I also do cold call several people almost every single time I start a challenge. And a lot of times that's a conversation starter with people. Like I'll just say, hey, you know what, this is like super random, but I was thinking about you and I'm starting this challenge and I don't know if it's something that interests you, I'd love to have you. If not, that's totally cool too. So I kind of just try to make my cold calls sound like super chill. And a lot of times, I mean, there are times definitely where people say yes, which is great, but there's a lot of times where people say no, not right now. And that's totally fine too, but I don't end the conversation right there. Sometimes that's just my conversation starter. And so maybe they'll tell me they're interested and then tell me that they can't do it this time, but maybe another time. And then I say, okay, that's cool. How are things going with school? How are things going with work? How are things going? So I don't just like cold call and then leave it, you know, if they don't respond and that's another thing. Another huge thing is that I know a lot of people like on our team and myself and I don't know, coaches in general, just if you send out an invitation to someone and they don't respond, like the next day, just hit them, just say, hey, I don't know, sometimes I kind of take it of a way of like, hey, I don't want you to feel like I was like pressuring you into it. If it's something you want to do, cool. If not, that's totally fine too. Or you can say, hey, I was just following up with you to see what you thought about that, or something simple so that they don't. And almost every single time that I follow up with someone, they do respond. So it's not like they leave me hanging. So all those people that you do send invitations to that might not respond right away, maybe they're thinking about it. Maybe they were thinking, oh, I got to ask my husband about it. Or let me check my bank account. And sometimes they honestly just forget to respond to you. And sometimes they might feel awkward about responding to you because maybe they know that they're going to say no and they don't want to hurt your feelings. And so maybe it's the time to clarify, like, hey, it's totally chill. Like, if you don't want to do it, how are things going, kind of thing. Like, I make sure that I always follow up with the people that tell me no. That everyone that's told me no in the past, I invite them again. Everyone that hasn't responded during this period of time, I follow up with them until they do respond. And not in like a nagging way, but just in a way like, kind of like, hey, I'm your friend. I'm like a real person. I wasn't just like some robot that sent out a random invitation to you, you know, kind of thing. So anyway, do you guys have anything to add to that? I am recording this so that we can get it to our people.
No, I think that's great. And I think that's like another reason like it's important to have events and like challenge groups going every month, because it does give you that period of time to invite people. Because if you're not constantly setting up new challenge groups and doing that stuff, you have nothing to invite people to do except for buy a product. Whereas as a coach, if you're doing challenges, you're offering way more than just a product. Like you're offering accountability, you're offering meal plans, like you're almost like that trainer nutritionist aspect that most people are looking for when they go to the gym and stuff like that. Like you really it's super important to have challenge groups for that reason.
And I feel like having a challenge group makes you far less of a salesperson. And I feel like that's a lot of the fear of being a coach and like selling product is because you don't want to sound pushy. You don't want to sound like a salesperson. Well, guess what? If you're not running a challenge group or not offering a challenge group to these people, you probably are going to sound like a salesperson. Like they're just going to think, oh, she's just trying to like pawn this off on me, make me spend $160
Well,
on
and like,
that might not
it's
work.
another reason people look at it too. Like my hairdresser today, my friend Brittany, my hairdresser, whatever. Brittany's husband, he designs all the workouts for bodybuilding.com. Like, so when you sign up for a bodybuilding.com like workout, he does that. And Brittany hates them. And she like was like, yeah, I asked my husband about your challenge, like, because I'm home with my kids. I work 2 days a week. I want to be in this challenge. But he's like, it would make me feel bad that you're not using my workout programs versus like, why do you want to use someone else's? And she's like, first off, I have to go to a gym. And she's like, second off, you don't give me meal plans. You give me supplements. She's like, I want to join Kelsey's challenge so that I can get meal plans. And so I have accountability. Like there's other women in this challenge group doing the same thing as me. And it makes me feel like I want to push harder. Mm-hmm. So she like really wants to join a challenge, but her husband is like totally against her. I mean, I guess I would probably be like that too. I was like, well, he should try a Beachbody workout is what I told her. But like, he has 15 people working underneath him to create these bodybuilding. I mean, have you guys been to bodybuilding.com? Like,
I have a lot of friends or a lot of people. I know tons of people that work for bodybuilding.com.
Like, he's a big guy in their company. Like he started with them when they very first started. Like, and so, but it was just funny. It made me think about that. Like, why it's so important for us to run challenge groups. And I feel like a lot of it is that's what gives us something to invite people to. Like, that's what sets us apart as someone that's selling something and someone that's actually like wanting to help people.
Yeah. And you know what? Something that really like helps me is every time before I message somebody, I read through it and think to myself, am I truly like wanting to help this person, first of all? And does this message reflect that? Like, am I truly like, am I just trying to make a sale right now? Or am I truly like wanting to help this person? So if you don't want to sound like a salesperson, ask yourself that question, read through what you wrote, and maybe they'll take it one way or another, but that's not really your fault. What you need to do to be more confident when you're inviting people is ask yourself, well, what is your intention? What is your intention right now? Because as coaches, yeah, we're trying to make a living or some sort of income here, but that's not the point. That's not what's going to help you be successful. Your intention and the work that you put into helping these people and your desire to help them in general is what's going to make you successful. And your reason why you're helping them to start with and why you're being a coach at all is the reason that you're going to be successful. So my guess tip right now is just make sure you just take a step back when you're inviting people. Just think what your intention is, how you're feeling in the moment. Are you just trying to make a sale? If that's the case, maybe just take a step back and think and just try to get to that different mindset where you do have the right intentions. Because as soon as you have those right intentions, it is going to reflect in things that you say to people, and people are going to recognize that you are truly trying to help them and it's not just trying to make a sale. In January, starting on the 4th, Kelsey and I've got holiday rehab starting. It's 2 months long. Kenna, do you have anything running? I mean, anyone is welcome to put people in that one, right, Kels? Yeah. I don't know. So, Kenna, do you have anything going?
Your head.
No, I don't right now.
Okay.
I need to think of something, but I haven't gotten there.
Okay.
Hop on to rehab. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I'm going to start Hammer and Chisel on the 4th with the big Beachbody group. So,
yeah.
I love Chisel. I'm obsessed.
I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll probably, this holiday rehab group might be kind of big just because we'll have like, I know that I'm going to have a lot of people from the past, but I'm thinking we might also, I don't know, think about opening a smaller challenge group because I think I really want to do another couples challenge, but maybe not with like 60 people because I feel like sometimes the smaller ones just get more response. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easier.
I wanna do another challenge for just women. I have a few people messaging me and they're like single. I have a couple people that want challenge packs this month that are getting married. So I'm like, probably gonna start just like a women only challenge.
So yeah, there'll probably be like several options starting in January because I don't know. I feel like lately I've just had a lot of success like connecting with people that want to do a couples challenge. But in the past, like I know that a lot of people wouldn't want to join a challenge group if they knew where there was men in it, or they might be far less willing to like participate and not
for sure. Yeah,
want to feel comfortable, which is totally chill. We want to, but we'll just open up a couple other challenge groups. They can even be called the same thing, and you can post the same things. You know, so it's not like it would probably add too much work. I think it would just.
Buffer's awesome. Just click all three and throw it in.
So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if I have a whole lot of other tips on like inviting. I mean, when it all comes down to it, I think that there's no way that I think I could have built my business to where it is today without inviting every single month. And that's what I've like struggled with this past couple weeks is just because I haven't taken the time to do it. And it's almost like I have to build up the courage again because I know that it's, at least for me in the beginning, everyone has different personalities. I'm like a total white personality, like peacemaker, don't want any contention, want everyone to just be happy and peaceful and loving. And so it does take a lot of courage for me to like invite people, but as soon as I get in that group, I'm like, oh yeah, this is easy because I'm really wanting to help this person, and I think that this would be super valuable to them. And hey, they want to lose 10 pounds, I can help them do that because I can keep them accountable, you know. So I don't know. I think inviting comes a lot more easily once you just do it, and just keep doing it and pushing through it until it becomes comfortable for you, and making sure that that you're going in with the right intentions. And inviting a person. So anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about? We haven't even popped up with the 10 minutes left thing.
You're awesome, Becky. I want to go to bed.